Welcome back to the channel. My name is Abel and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 and Music in Motion with Nashville SC. And today we have our very first drafts. Last time we took charge of Nashville SC, we had a look at our squad and we just had a look around and started the series. So today we are going to make the first additions to our team, hopefully, with the expansion draft, which is for us and for Inter Miami, the two newest additions, the two newest expansions to MLS. Now, it skipped over the waiver draft. I'm not quite sure what the waiver draft was, but that's been and gone. So we've got the expansion draft, and then there's the re-entry draft, which I'm imagining is for the other teams, the other teams that are coming back into the MLS. So you got your LA Galaxies, your Chicago Fires, your Portland Timbers, teams like that. So I guess this gives us a bit of a head start on them because we're new. So we've got a draft here. There's 150 players available. There's 5 rounds. So Inter pick and then we pick. Each non-expansion team can lose up to 1 player from their non-protected roster. This means that once the selection is made, all remaining non-protected players from that team's roster will become protected and therefore unavailable to the expansion team. So we can pick a player from another team providing they're not being protected. Now our scout and Saudi, who is our one of our scouts, has given us a list of players that we can maybe look at getting. Luis Caicedo is someone that I recognise. He used to play for Sporting, Colombian. I recognise the name. And he is a central midfielder. If we have a look at our squad report, we can see where we need some strength. So we definitely need someone in central attacking midfield because the only player we have that can really play there is Hani Mukhtar, our designated player and our best player. So we definitely need another player there. I think we could do with a better striker. I think a left back, and a centre back and a goalkeeper. So something along those lines I think we'll look for. Is there a goalkeeper amongst these? Striker, left back, striker, right winger. No. So we'll have to try and find a decent goalkeeper. So we've got that. We have managed to sign some staff members. We're waiting for one more data analyst. That's the only thing we need. Everything else is looking good. I'm not quite sure how good our coaches are, but let's have a look. Coaching attributes. So we've got Pickens, goalkeeping coach. Yeah, I can live with that for one season. Then we can look at improving him. Fitness coach for 14 fitness is fine. And Steve Gupp is our other coach. And he's okay, but we don't really have a defensive coach. So that might be something worth thinking about. Maybe trying to get one more coach in. Will they allow that? Let's see. Yes, they will. Okay. So we're definitely going to get one more coach in and try and get a defensive coach. So yeah, central attacking midfield, striker, left back, centre back, goalkeeper. If we get 5 players, I'd like it to be those 5 ideally, but we'll have to wait and see what's available. Still no fixtures. They're still on holiday and they will be till January. So we can't organise any matches at the moment. Everyone's back on the 20th of January and then we'll be able to get some matches together. But the actual MLS season I don't think starts till like February or March. So we've got a way to go before we get any matches underway. But we're learning. I think this series is more about learning how the MLS works rather than the actual series. I think the matches are just as important, but for now, we're trying to learn how things work. I'm not sure what else we'll have in this video. We're definitely going to do these drafts, and then we'll see. I just stumbled across my academy, and there's 3 players in here. This guy's not too good, won't amount to much, Pujol, but we've got Ricky Burdett, who is a left winger, and he's got a bit of potential about him, 4-star potential, got some decent attributes. But the other guy, Dean Barnes, 17-year-old American, centre-back, 5-star potential. So he looks like he could be a good one to have for the future. We should try and protect him, I think, shouldn't we? He's valued at 0. Do we try and sign him to something? No transfer activities allowed for Nashville in this transfer window. Okay. Maybe we've got to wait for the drafts first of all. Right. Let's have a look at it and see what we need then. Strikers. Let's have a look at a couple of these strikers. So we've got Maximiliano Urruti, who is an Argentine forward, last played for Montreal Impact. Pressing forward works well with our current Gegenpress, which we haven't had a chance to try out yet, but that could change before the season starts. We could change our setup completely, but he looks like a well-rounded striker, and he's wanted by pretty much everyone else. So he could be an ideal one to get, Urruti. The other strikers, we've got Kiri Shelton, who's at Sporting Kansas City. Looks more suited to the right-hand side, so maybe not one to think about. He's being scouted. We've got Patrick Mullins at Toronto FC. He could work. He looks pretty good, actually. Is he wanted by everyone? Not so many, but yeah, he is wanted as well. So we'll have to do some comparisons and stuff, I think. I don't know if we're timed with this draft. Are we going to be timed, I wonder? So we've got two strikers to pick from. We've got Mullins and we've got Urruti. So let's compare the two. It looks like Mullins would be the better player, and he has a year on him as well. He's on the disabled list. I'm not quite sure what that means. What does it mean if they're on the disabled list? Does that mean they can't be bought? Does that mean they're protected? Not allowed to play in the MLS. Okay, so Mullins, I think, is definitely something we need to go for. So I think that's going to try and be our first player that we get. Is there a central attacking midfielder here? We've got Caicedo, who isn't attacking midfielder, but is a central midfielder. So we could go for him and go with a 4-3-3 rather than a 4-2-3-1. We have an Icelandic player here called Gudmundur Porarinsen from New York City. He's left-sided. Can play in the middle, but isn't fantastic out there. So maybe not him. But Caicedo could be good. That's it in terms of the recommended midfielders. Left back, something we could look at. He looks okay. He's being scouted at the moment. He's wanted by almost every other club in the MLS, so we can maybe try and get Valenzuela. Calvo's a centre back. No, he's a wing back as well. More of a left back. He's wanted by a bunch of players as well. He's good defensively, but going forward, not great. So Calvo, maybe not. Arriaga from Ecuador. He looks good. 25. He looks very good. He isn't wanted by anyone, but he looks solid. 15 heading, 15 marking, 16 tackling. He looks like a very good defender. Gallardo for the right wing. I don't think we need a right winger. I think we're okay out wide. We've got options. Greg Garza is 28 from Cincinnati. He looks okay. See, look, he offers a lot going forward. So I'm thinking Garza, Mullins, Caicedo, Arriaga, and maybe one more. It might not be in this group. So let's jump into it then. Let's view the draft and let's see. So are we picking or are Inter picking? See next pick. Okay, so this is going to be Inter's first pick. And they have gone with Luis Felipe, a player that we didn't even see. He's a central midfielder. So now it's our turn to pick. We don't have a time limit, so that's good. We can ask assistant to see what they say for the first team central attacking midfielder. And we have Alan Cruz recommended to us from Costa Rica. Again, he's not really suited to central midfield. He's actually more of a right-sided winger, so maybe not him, despite what our assistant says. Let's go into conditions and let's see if we can find a good central attacking midfielder. Right, we've got these to choose from. Again, we'll go attributes. Right, I'm glad that we're not timed on this. Actually, I'm very relieved about that. Right, let's see what we can find. What's that I mean? International. Alejandro Guido. He looks okay, but again, not really. Oh no, he is a bit more advanced, but 12s and 11s, the odd 13 here and there, it's okay. Juan Pablo Torres is 20 years old. Has he been playing much? He's played for New York City this season, but hasn't done great. So I don't think those guys are going to work too well. Maybe pick a different position, maybe like advanced playmaker, because attacking midfielder I don't think is too common. So let's see if we can find something for another role. We're going to get Mullins in because he looked like a good striker. So we're going to get the striker in. We're going to get Patrick Mullins as our first pick. Pick player from draft. There we go. Is that done? Did we pick him? Okay, we picked him. Right. Patrick Mullins is in. Okay, see next pick. They've gone with Milton Valenzuela, a left back. Not one that I saw myself. So that's fine. So how many? Right, yeah, we get 5 picks. So I think we do want to try and get a central attacking midfielder in. But maybe not the ones that we saw. There might be another one in there somewhere. He looks okay. He's at Portland. How has he been doing? Again, pretty average. So I don't know. I don't think that would be very good. Caicedo was one, wasn't he? Let's get Caicedo in. Okay, so that's that one. Next pick. They've gone with Calvo. That's the left back that we looked at. But no, there was another left back we wanted, wasn't there? So let's try and find him. Valenzuela? Was it Valenzuela? I think we had him scouted. Do you know what? Let's go to our emails and find him in here. See what his name was. I think it was Valenzuela. Or was it Greg Garza? It was Greg Garza. That's who it was. Let's pick Greg Garza as our third player. They've gone with Kiri Shelton, who is the other forward we looked at. We need a centre back, don't we? We definitely need a centre back. Let's get some attributes up. Just some basic attributes, so no nonsense centre back. It gives me an insight into how I scout players though, so that's quite good. There was a guy that had really good defensive attributes. What was his name? Arriaga, that was it. Can we get him? Yes, we can. Right, we're going to get Arriaga as number 4. And then they've gone with Urruti, who is that other striker that we looked at. Who looks okay, but we've gone, of course, with Mullins. I think we need a central attacking midfielder. If we're going to go with this 4-2-3-1, we need a cam. So let's try and get one in. And then we're going to show up Juan Pablo Torres. New York City. I mean, we can try it. We haven't seen a lot of players for that, for this role, but this guy could be good for it. Do we chance it? We're going to chance it. Number 5 is going to be Juan Pablo Torres. And that is it. That is 5 players. I'm not sure if these guys are going to be good or not, but let's see. Let's have a look. Right, so Arriaga. 3.5 star with 4-star potential. That's a good start. Arriaga looks decent. Regular player who can still improve. He can be a starting centre-back. That's a good start. Caicedo. 3 stars, again, with a little bit of potential. That's not too bad. He looks decent. Caicedo, welcome. Mullins, 3 stars. A little bit disappointed it's not more. But it's another forward option. I would have liked him to be a bit better than that though. 3 stars. 3 stars is okay. Greg Garza, 3.5. I'm okay with that. He looks like a decent wing back. Regular player in his prime. American as well. Yeah, he's not great in the air, but he looks like he can be a good player going forward. So he is in. And our final player, Juan Pablo Torres. Bit younger, 20, very much one for the future. He's got 4.5 star potential. He is our central attacking midfielder, and basically going to be an understudy to Hani Mukhtar, it seems. So that's 5 good players there. I'm quite satisfied with that. I'm quite pleased with that. For a first draft, I think we've done pretty well, although we are now overspending on our wages. So that's not what we want to see. And our transfer budget is 0 because I've moved it a little bit into the scouting budget to allow us to scout more players. So we're already overspending, but we're going to offload some players as well. There are trades in MLS as well, which we haven't done yet. We haven't seen any trades. We haven't been offered any trades. I just saw it as an option because I was looking at some other players, but I ended up almost trying to buy someone else's designated player. I don't know how that works. If you pay money for them, I've got no clue. So I'm still learning, but that's a good draft. I'm quite happy with that. In fact, I'm pretty happy with that. So we've got 2 stages of the re-entry draft. I don't know what part we have in that, because I would imagine that's for the other 24 teams, because we've just had the opportunity to pick 5 players. Now surely everyone else is going to get a turn, but we'll wait and see. See, look, it says something about offering trades. Now, you can offer various things in trades. You can offer other players. You can offer player rights. I don't know how that works. I don't know what it means by player rights. Will it tell me? Yeah, I don't know what it means by player rights. You can also offer out a draft allocation. So when it gets to the Super Draft, which is the big draft in January, your first pick, I don't know if it means that you would essentially lose a player because you'd be giving them the player in exchange for Pozuelo in this case, and then they'd draft the player in your position, in your place. I think that's what it means by that. But we could offer our first pick or our second pick. And then there's international slots, not sure what that means. And then allocation money, again, I don't really understand it, but we could offer a draft pick or we could offer a player. I'm not going to do it right now, we're just going to withdraw, but I'll try and work out what exactly to do with that. Players selected for draft. 196 players have been selected for the MLS Super Draft, which will take place on Thursday the 16th of January. 72 of these players will take part in the Major League Soccer Draft Combine, which starts on Friday the 10th of January. Ricardo Ansaldi has assessed all the players involved and has recommended George Elliott and David Williams, a goalkeeper. We definitely want a goalkeeper. He's got a little bit of potential. He's 2.5 stars. He's a young American goalkeeper, so something we can look at maybe picking up. We're going to add him to the shortlist now. And then David Williams is a central defender, but I think we're okay in that area now. We did get one in that expansion draft. So, but we'll scout those 3 players. We've got time to. Generation Adidas players announced. The following 6 players have been awarded Generation Adidas status. Let's scout the players again. Keston Lee is another goalkeeper. Exciting prospect, good potential. So that's someone to keep an eye on. Up de Grove. That's Ben Up de Grove. That's a cool name. Like John down the road. Ben Up de Grove. I want that guy just for his name. Alright, I think we're going to leave it there for today. And then when we come back, we're going to have that super draft. And we're going to hopefully find out the fixtures and see what's expected of us in the MLS season. And then after that, I guarantee, I promise, we'll actually get into some matches after that, because hopefully we'll be able to get a friendly together. But I'm going to end it there. One, because Liverpool kicks off and it's the day that we're going to get our title awarded to us. But we did a draft in there. We added some players, and we'll look at some potential draftees in the future as well. So yeah, we got a bit done today, but you know, we're still learning at the moment, and hopefully soon we'll actually be able to get into some matches. But for now, we're just learning and trying to add some players to our squads. But hopefully soon we'll get into some actual football. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, drop a like down below, leave comments, and if you haven't done so already, or if you're new, then do consider subscribing and turning on notifications, and I will see you in the next video. We're going to have the Super Draft. I guess we'll find out who we're going to be with and what's expected of us next time, hopefully, and then after that we can get into some games. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.